Okay. So, for our topic this week, our topic is about ellipse. Okay, and actually this is the third conic section that we will be learning for the first quarter. And don't worry, ellipse is a very easy topic. Okay, I hope you also did this. This is how ellipse is made. Um, if you are familiar with the solar system, the movement of the planets around the sun, actually the sun is not at the centermost part of each planet, but actually the sun is either of the two foci of the ellipse. Simply means that the different or the different planets orbit around the sun in an ellipse path. Okay, and the sun can either be on this foci. Okay, so if it's summer, the planet is around this around or near the sun, but if it's cooler seasons, nandun siya sa mas malayong part ng sun. Okay, that's the concept of ellipse. Therefore, there are different concepts that we need to take on as we learn this lesson, and those are the different parts of the ellipse. By the way, when we say vertical and horizontal, you know that. If it's standing, that's vertical ellipse. And if it's sleeping, parang sa mga bata, standing line and sleeping line. For our ellipse, we have our vertical ellipse. This is it. This is the vertical ellipse. And we also have our horizontal ellipse there. Okay. And they have the same parts. They are the major axis, the minor axis. When we say major axis, that's the longer axis from the endpoints passing through the center. And the minor axis, that's the shorter line passing through the center of the ellipse. Okay? Similarly, when we have our horizontal ellipse, we have our major and minor axis. We have the vertex and the covertex. Vertex are the endpoints of the major axis, and the covertices are the endpoints of the minor axis. Okay? Now, these are the parts. Please know them because we will be solving these parts later on as we move forward. Okay? Center, of course, just like a circle, that's the centermost part of your ellipse. Okay? Just giving you a review because we will be learning all this later on. And then we have this, the longer part, the longer line passing through the center. What do you call it again? Type the answer in the chat box, please. What do you call this yellow broken line passing through the center of the ellipse? Type it in the chat box, please. What do you call that? Okay, very good. That's correct. That's the major axis. And mind you, remember this. Remember this. When we say major axis, it contains the foci. It contains the foci. And when we say foci, these are the 2 points that balances the movement of your ellipse. Okay? Always remember that. Those are the foci. We also have this minor axis. Yan, the red broken line. That's the major axis passing through the center. Okay? And after that, that's all that we need to learn. So this is the center of the circle. By the way, the circle is also an ellipse, just that it has no foci. And the foci are both lying on the center of the circle. So the center, a circle is an ellipse. Take note of that. Okay? Kaya nga, meron tayong almost the same pattern of equation for ellipse. Okay? Let me just show this. Let me see. Let's now have a visual representation of how an ellipse is made using the foci. Okay, let me share this with you. Okay, just to show you. So that we will have an idea what is that foci all about. Illustration. Here. Eto na lang. Let me show this. Here. Look at this there. In this video, we can see that these are the two. Ayan. These are, where is that? Play again. Replay. Ayan. So as you can see, these are the two foci. And as the two foci connect, if we connected a string through these two foci, we will be able to draw the ellipse. So that is how the ellipse is formed. So that's how important the foci of an ellipse is in our lesson. Okay, take note of that. Now let's continue. A while ago, I was telling you something about the similarity of circle and the ellipse. Because if we will just consider a circle, they have exactly the same, almost the same format. For example, if a circle is, if the circle's center is the origin here, and then, so therefore that is 0, 0. And then the radius is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example. So our radius is 5 units. So the equation of this, when we make, assuming we have a circle formed here, the equation will be x squared plus y squared is equal to 25, 5 squared. So, however, this is if we have a circle. Take note of that. And if we are talking about the ellipse, ellipse is a different story because aside from the center, we also have the foci. Okay, we have the foci, for example, here and here. And then we have here the ellipse, assuming it's a beautifully drawn ellipse. The equation of an ellipse goes like this. So we have here, if the center is at 0, 0, the equation of the ellipse is, take note of this, x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1. Okay, so they have almost the same nature as the circle, of course, kasi a circle is an ellipse. However, it differs because we have this a squared and b squared right below ax squared and y squared respectively. Okay, so this is just very simple. Let's have here an example. So always remember, this is our format for the equation of an ellipse. Let's have this as an example. So of course, not all equations are expressed in standard form. So there are also given equations wherein we need to express the equation into an ellipse. Let's have this as an example. For example, we have x squared plus 3 squared, 3y squared is equal to 15. Wait. is equal to 9 na lang. Para cute. Okay, so what we need to do here is to express it in standard form. Okay, now what will we do? We should express it in standard form, and it should be like that. So the first thing to do to express this to standard form is first, make the right side of the equation equal to 1. Since the constant here is 9, this is what we are referring to, this should be equal to 1. Take note of that. So for us to make it equal to 1, we need to divide it by 9. And remember, this is an equation. If we divided this side by 9, therefore we need to divide the other side by 9 as well. Okay? Or to make it much clearer, we need to divide all the terms of the other side by 9 because we will be simplifying them later on. Okay? After that, we need to simply simplify this. So by simply simplifying, we will have x squared over 9 plus 9 divided by 3, this becomes 3. So we have here y squared over 3 is equal to 9 divided by 9, that's 1. That's it. So this is the standard form of our ellipse, having 1 as the other side of the equation, and then the x squared and y squared have their own denominators, respective denominators. Okay? That's it. Sige nga, show a reaction if you understood that process. Let me see. Show me your reactions based on how you understood that process. Okay. Very good. Okay. Thank you so much. So let's have another example. Sige nga. This time, I want you to answer on your own. Ready? Okay. Let's have this. Of course, I will clear these things up because this is already clear to you. Okay, let's have another example. What if we have, this time I want you to write the answer, show your answer. X squared plus, lagi tayong x squared doon. Let me change this to 4x squared plus y squared is equal to 36. Go. Express this in standard form. Type your answer in the chat box once you're done. So for us to be able to change this to standard form, all we have to do is to divide all the terms by 36 because our goal here is to make our constant, the other side of the equation, equal to 1. 36 and 36. Then all we have to do is to simplify 36 divided by 4, that is 9, 18, 27, 36, 9. So we have here x squared over 9 plus, similarly here, since there is no coefficient beside y squared, that becomes the same. Y squared over 36 is equal to 1. Once we are done in changing it to 1, making it equal to 1, then we are finished. Show a thumbs up or any reaction if you got the same answer. Let me see. Okay, feel free to explore the other reactions. Okay, now that we have all this, the next thing to do is to do the process in our what do you call this, in our graphing. Because after this, after getting it, changing it to standard form, the next thing to do is to graph the ellipse because that's the reason why we are doing this. Okay, Now that we know how to change it to standard form, let's now move on to its graphing. This is just very easy, don't worry. Okay, so the next step is to find A and B. A and B will be very important for us because these are the numbers that will tell us how many units will we go from the center to show the endpoints of our vertices and our co-vertices. Okay, now it's only less than a minute. I'll end this now and kindly just join again for the continuation.